Welcome to this wonderland called Australia. Are you curious about the hidden gem of this country? Do you remember the stories of kangaroos? Or how liberal and gorgeous the women here are? We're about to head down, so buckle up and enjoy the ride. Have you ever wondered why Burger King in Australia is known as Hungry Jack's? It's a head-scratcher. We're diving deep into the land of kangaroos and koalas to uncover some seriously weird and wild facts about Australia. We're talking about stuff so strange, it'll make you say, "Didgeridoo, they really just say that?" Or why Australians are one of the world's biggest gamblers. Are they just lucky? Or is there something in the water? And did you hear about the time an Aussie bloke tried to sell New Zealand on eBay? You heard that right, New Zealand. The whole shebang. We're about to blow your mind with this list of 50 crazy things you probably never knew about Australia. So, buckle up, grab some Vegemite, if you dare, and let's get this wild ride started. Before we get in, please consider hitting subscribe. 98% of you are not subscribed. Hit subscribe to support us. Thank you. All right, guys, first up is a real doozy. Picture this. You're craving a Whopper, right? You spot the familiar Burger King sign, but then bam! It says Hungry Jack's. What's the deal? Well, it turns out that back in the 1970s, a bloke named Jack Cowan already snagged the Burger King name in Australia. Can you believe that? Talk about bad timing. So Burger King had to get creative. They struck a deal with Jack, making him the Big Cheese, the exclusive franchisee. And that's how Hungry Jack's was born. It's like the Aussie twins separated at birth. Same flame-grilled goodness, just a different name. Who knew a burger joint could have such a wild backstory? All right, let's talk geography. But hold on to your hats because Australia likes to break the mold. This place is a continent and a country. It's like the overachiever of the world map. Now, it might be the smallest continent out there, but don't let that fool you. It's still absolutely massive. We're talking a whopping 7.7 million square kilometers of land down under. That's bigger than all of Europe combined. And get this, it's surrounded by not one, not two, but 3 seas. You've got the Timor Sea to the northwest, the Coral Sea to the northeast, home to the incredible Great Barrier Reef, and the mighty Southern Ocean to the south. It's like Australia decided to have it all: land, sea, and enough space to fit all the kangaroos in the world. All right, guys, we're talking Australia, the land down under. It's got a population of 27 million people. Most Aussies live by the beach. Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, all these awesome cities right on the coast. Imagine waking up to the sound of waves crashing every morning. Beaches, barbecues, and maybe even a kangaroo or two in your backyard. Australia is the smallest continent, but the 6th largest country. So next time you're thinking about a place to visit, remember Australia. All right, guys, let's talk about money. Australian money. Because you know me, I love giving it away. But before we start handing out stacks of cash, we gotta know what they use down under. So, in Australia, they use the Australian dollar. It's got a cool nickname too, the Aussie dollar. And get this, it's one of the most traded currencies in the world. That means it's a strong and reliable currency, just like my determination to win every challenge. Now, I'm all about that American dollar, but those Aussie dollars look pretty sweet too. They've got all these bright colors and cool designs like kangaroos and kookaburras. Makes me want to collect them all, like Pokemon cards. So next time you're in Australia, make sure you've got a pocket full of Aussie dollars, ready to go. And hey, if you see me around, don't be shy. Come say hi. We might even make it rain with some Australian cash. All right, guys, every country needs a flag, right? Like a team jersey, but for a whole nation. And Australia's flag? It's got a pretty cool story behind it. First up, you got the Union Jack. Then you got the big seven-pointed star, the Commonwealth Star. And last but not least, you got the Southern Cross. It's a constellation you can only see from the Southern Hemisphere. So next time you see the Australian flag, remember, it's a story of history, unity, and Aussie pride. You probably already know Aussies speak English, thanks to those British folks way back when. But hold up, things get way more interesting. Imagine over 160 indigenous languages, passed down through generations, still spoken today. Sadly, many are fading out, which is a bummer. But wait, there's more. Picture this. Over 300 other languages echo through the streets, from Mandarin to Arabic, Cantonese, Vietnamese, even Italian. It's like a world tour of languages, all in one place. This place is a melting pot of cultures, and that's what makes it so awesome. It's mind-blowing to think how many different ways people communicate in Australia. It's a beautiful reminder that diversity makes the world go round, just like a good game of spin the bottle, but with fewer awkward moments and more awesome accents. All right, guys, get ready to have your minds blown. Australia has over 50,000 kilometers of coastline. That's like longer than a burrito the size of Texas. And hold on to your swim trunks because they have over 10,685 beaches. That means you could chill on a different beach every single day for over 27 years. We're talking pristine white sands, hidden coves, turquoise waters that'll make you question reality. And don't even get me started on the waves. From the legendary Whitehaven Beach, where the sand is whiter than my teeth after a good whitening session, to the Great Barrier Reef, where you can swim with sharks and pretend you're in Jaws, but hopefully with a happier ending. Australia's beaches are next-level epic. We're talking Instagram-worthy views that'll make your followers drool with envy. All right, so you know how some countries are all about that ring of fire life? Yeah, Australia's got chill vibes, no volcanoes erupting and ruining your day here. The last time a volcano went off here was over 5,000 years ago. No need to worry about lava flows or ash clouds messing up your beach day. See, Australia sits right in the middle of a tectonic plate, like a perfectly placed pizza topping. It's the perfect place to kick back, relax, and enjoy some Vegemite on toast. All right, guys, get this. Australia has over 75 million sheep. You heard that right. 75 million. That's like 3 sheep for every single person living there. Imagine walking down the street, and bam, sheep everywhere. We're talking about a country that takes its wool seriously. I'm talking seriously soft sweaters, people. And with that many sheep, they've got enough wool to make a sweater for every person on the planet. Probably. Someone fact-check that for me. But seriously, all those sheep mean big business for Australia. We're talking about a major part of their economy, all thanks to those fluffy little guys. I'm not saying we should all move to Australia and start sheep farms, but actually that's not a bad idea. Imagine a Mr. Beast sheep farm in the outback. We could dye them crazy colors, have sheep races, the possibilities are endless. All right, new video idea unlocked. So, you think of Australia, you think kangaroos, koalas, right? But what if I told you there's a little slice of Greece hiding down under? No, seriously. Australia has the largest Greek population outside of Greece itself. Over 400,000 Greek Australians call the land down under home. That's a whole lot of gyros. And where do most of them hang out? Melbourne, baby. It's like the Greek capital of Australia. We're talking Greek restaurants on every corner, traditional music, festivals, the works. It's incredible how cultures can travel across the globe and thrive in new places. I'm thinking we need to do a Mr. Beast challenge in Melbourne, Greek style. Maybe a massive moussaka cook-off? Or a competition to see who can dance the Zorba the longest. Someone book me a flight to Melbourne stat. I'm ready to yell, Opa, and smash some plates with my new Aussie mates. All right, guys, buckle up because we're about to talk about Australia's not-so-secret obsession, gambling. I'm talking next-level, high-stakes action. Get this. In 2022 alone, Australians lost a mind-blowing $25 billion on gambling. That's billion with a B. We're talking about the highest per capita losses in the entire world. It's like everyone down under has a lucky kangaroo foot they rub for good luck. Hey, maybe that's a future Mr. Beast challenge. Finding the luckiest kangaroo foot in Australia. But seriously, that's a lot of money being wagered. We're talking casinos, sports betting, lotteries, you name it. Australians are probably betting on it. Now, I'm all for a little fun, but remember guys, always gamble responsibly. And hey, if you're ever feeling lucky down under, hit me up. Maybe we can have a Mr. Beast poker night. Australian style. Winner takes home a year's supply of Vegemite. Or maybe not. All right, guys, get this. You know the Swiss Alps? Those majestic mountains, always blanketed in snow? Well, Australia has mountains that get even more snow. I'm talking about the Australian Alps, home to some of the most epic ski slopes down under. We're not messing around here, people. These mountains get buried in powder, more than Switzerland. Can you believe that? It's like a winter wonderland, Aussie style. And you know what that means? Shredding, skiing, snowboarding, you name it. The Australian Alps are a winter sports paradise, with resorts like Thredbo and Perisher drawing in crowds from all over. So next time you're thinking snow, don't just think Switzerland. Think Australia. These mountains are the real deal, with enough snow to satisfy any adrenaline junkie. All right, guys, let's talk about something super important. The right to vote. You know, that fundamental right to have a say in how your country is run? Well, Australia was way ahead of the game on this one. We're talking way back to 1902. Just a couple years after the turn of the century, Australia became the second country in the world to give women the right to vote. That's right. They recognized the power of women's voices and made history. And get this. Voting in Australia isn't just a right, it's a responsibility. Once you turn 18, you have to vote. It's the law. They even have fines for people who don't. Can you imagine that? Being told you have to vote? It might sound crazy, but hey, it ensures everyone has a say in shaping their future. That's pretty awesome if you ask me. All right, guys. Have you ever heard of a city being built from the ground up, specifically to be a capital? Well, that's exactly what happened with Canberra, Australia's capital city. We're talking early 20th century, when they decided Australia needed a capital that wasn't just thrown together. They wanted something grand, something planned to perfection. So they brought in this architect, Walter Burley Griffin, and let him go wild. And let me tell you, he delivered. Canberra is like a city from a blueprint, with wide avenues, tons of parks and green spaces, and government buildings that'll blow your mind. It's all nestled against these beautiful mountains, with a lake right in the middle. It's like they took all the best parts of a city and put them together in one place. It's organized, it's beautiful, and it's 100% Australian. Now that's what I call a capital city. All right, guys, you won't believe this. Australia has a fence so long it puts all others to shame. We're talking about the Dingo Fence, stretching over 5,600 kilometers. That's like driving from Los Angeles to New York and back again, and then driving back to New York again. They built this monster fence back in the 1880s to keep dingoes, those wild Aussie dogs, away from sheep. Can you imagine the amount of work that went into building a fence that long? It's mind-blowing. Okay, get this. In Australia, they celebrate Australia Day with cockroach races. You heard me right. Every year on January 26th, the Storybridge Hotel in Brisbane hosts this crazy event. It all started back in 1982, and now it's a massive party with people cheering on their favorite roaches. They even have a special racetrack and everything. I'm not sure I'd want to be the one catching those roaches after the race, though. Imagine the challenge videos we could do with this. We could have 1 million cockroaches, and the last one to cross the finish line gets, I don't know, a lifetime supply of bug spray? All right, let's talk about something a little more sophisticated. Australian wine. You might not know this, but Australia is a huge player in the wine world. They have over 60 wine regions across the country, from the sunny plains to the cool climate island of Tasmania. We're talking billions, yes, billions, of bottles of top-notch wine produced every year. That's enough to fill a swimming pool the size of, well, a really, really big swimming pool. So next time you're looking for a good bottle of wine, remember Australia. Cheers, mates. All right, guys. We all know Australia is known for its wild side, right? Deadly creatures, crazy landscapes. But how about some of the cleanest air on Earth? Yeah, you heard that right. We're talking about Tasmania, this little island off the coast. This place is practically a giant air purifier. Low population, not a ton of factories, and wind that just blows everything fresh. Imagine waking up every day and taking a deep breath of that. I'm not even kidding, the air quality in Tasmania is off the charts. It's like stepping into a whole other world where you can actually, taste the freshness. It's got to be good for your skin, your hair, your whole vibe. So, if you're ever feeling choked up by city life, book a flight to Tasmania and breathe deep, baby. All right, guys. You know I love a good challenge, right? But this next Aussie fact is next level crazy. We're talking about the world's longest golf course, and I'm not talking about some fancy country club. I'm talking about a course that stretches over 1,365 kilometers. This is Nullarbor Links, baby. It cuts right through the heart of Australia, from Western Australia into South Australia. We're talking 18 holes spread across 2 whole states. Imagine driving from hole to hole, passing kangaroos and emus along the way. This is the ultimate road trip for golf fanatics. You could spend days, maybe even weeks, conquering this course. And forget those little golf carts. You'd need a serious off-road vehicle to tackle this beast. Who's down for a Mr. Beast golfing adventure across Australia? First one to sink a hole-in-one gets $1 million. And there you have it, guys. 20 mind-blowing facts about Australia that'll have you booking a flight down under faster than you can say g'day, mate. From killer spiders to the world's longest golf course, this country's got it all. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on more crazy videos like this. And while you're at it, drop a comment below and let me know which fact blew your mind the most. Please watch the next video on the left corner of the screen. Peace out.